music.
Oh, that's great.
By the way, I'm disappointed in producer lady because in the San Diego Chickens, she had Dave Roberts, but she didn't have Freddie and Mookie and Teoscar.
I'm not disappointed at all. That was epic, producer.
And by the way, she had him in Toronto. What was that? Was that like a dig at Toronto? That was throwing shade at Toronto.
Yes. They were a finalist. And Dave Roberts played for the Padres.
So what does that have to do with anything?
He has experience with the San Diego
We should have had Pete Rose in there because he has experience with the Chicken too.
Well, come on. There's a connection
Didn't the Chicken
here.
beat Pete Rose up at WrestleMania or something?
Don't go all Ipe on me right now.
Okay.
Let's stay on task. Shohei Ohtani is expected to join the Dodgers rotation at some point next month. Alden Gonzalez tweeting yesterday that there's a slight chance it could occur before the All-Star break. The reason, his progress, but also the added roster spot. He can return as a 2 to 3 inning starter. That's the end of his tweet, I'll add. So that someone besides Kike Hernandez can eat up multiple innings to save the pitching staff.
You know what the key thing in that whole tweet was?
What?
The roster spot. He doesn't cost him a roster spot like a lot of other pitchers do. That's the key. That's why this is easier for the Dodgers than any other team to do because of that rule they put in with the two-way. You can still carry 13 pitchers and have Shohei on the team, a two-way. So that's the key, the roster spot. You can do this. And they don't, because most teams would have to, if they were trying to rehab a guy at the big leagues, they would lose another pitcher. But because of this rule, they don't.
Yeah, well, they're encouraging more unicorns, even though we haven't seen any.
Because it's like nearly impossible to do.
Exactly.
It's nearly impossible.
Jack Caglione throws 97, and they were like, dude, go hit dingers. Like, this is so hard to do. Like, it's the rule that they just made to just help the Dodgers win. It's unfair. It's unfair. The Dodgers just get everything.
Well, they're not going to win 130 games like some of you out there.
By the way,
said.
Listen, I'm the biggest Jack Caglione fan there is out there, but, pitching now.
No. Not pitching.
No.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Hey, Dave Roberts said there is a, quote, north of 0 chance that Ohtani joins the rotation before the All-Star break. So do you think he will join the rotation before the All-Star break? To me, when they say that about Shohei, I actually kind of buy it. I'm like, but the only thing is, what are you going to do? You're going to have him do one outing?
Here's the only problem I have with this whole thing is when I saw the Dodgers a couple weeks ago and I talked to some people that were kind of into it.
Yeah.
They were saying that he hasn't thrown breaking balls and he's really afraid to throw the split. He's just like most of his outings have been all heaters, right? He hasn't thrown sliders, he hasn't thrown cutters, he hadn't thrown curveballs, he hadn't thrown splits. So until he can get out there and actually do that, which maybe he's done his last couple outings, but this was a couple weeks ago and they were like, he will only throw fastballs. And he was supposed to throw breaking balls the next day because his outing got rained out the day I was there, and he still, I don't think, did it.
I think he has, but don't quote me on it. I mean, he had 44 pitches in his 3 simulated innings.
And by the way, simulated inning is not the same.
I know. What did he throw, Kratz? What do you know?
He threw a few breaking balls. That one day, they counted how many breaking balls he threw in his side session. But I don't think he's thrown it on the mound against hitters yet.
Okay. So what do you think is going to happen? He's not going to use those pitches?
No, I'm just saying, like, he needs to be able to throw those pitches before he gets out there, Scott.
He's all fastballs now.
That's fine. There's guys that did that.
There are.
Lance Lynn did that for years.
He did.
And someone throw 100 pitches and throw one little breaking ball, and the rest were 4-seamers or 2-seamers.
Hey, Snell and Glass now threw bullpen sessions on Tuesday as well.
Okay. Huh? Good luck.
Maybe that's why Dalton Rushing. That's why Dalton Rushing's up and sitting on the bench, so they can have a big league catcher rehabbing all of their rehabbing pitchers.
Yeah, I mean, he's exhausted. He's working with quite the staff. He gets to catch aces even when it's not a gameplay for him, right? Even when he's not starting.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll keep you posted. The music.
So let's talk about this. Who are the trade partners? First up, Cedric Mullins. I got 4 for Cedric. I have the San Diego Padres. You can move him to left field, and he would be an upgrade. You have to keep Merrill in center, Tatis in right, Mullins would be in left. That's a nice outfield for San Diego. I think the Dodgers certainly could be in play. We've been talking about Luis Robert as a potential trade chip for the Dodgers this season. If we've been talking about Robert, we obviously have to talk about Mullins. With the disappointment with Conforto this year, Right now, the outfield for LA is Teoscar when he's back, and Pages, and you could fit Mullins in there. I think the Philadelphia Phillies, as John Morosi mentioned in his hit with MLB Network the other day, I agree with that. I think there's a fit here. Brandon Marsh has been struggling mightily with the bat this year. Mullins would be an upgrade. And I think Cleveland has to be included as well. You get his defense, and you get, look, lately the bat for Mullins has been kind of slipping. He had a great start, but it's slipping a little bit. He'd still be a better option, even with his bat maybe slipping a little bit, because we know where it can be. A better option than Nolan Jones right now, who is getting regular run in that outfield and is struggling. So there's our Mullins trade targets. We're going to build a trade that involves the Dodgers in just a minute. Let's go to the Dodgers and Cedric Mullins. This feels like, in so many ways, a Bobby Miller trade. I don't know, Dodger fans, if you are ready to give up on him, but here's the problem. And this is the reason, here we get back to my love-hate relationship with baseball trade values. The problem is with baseball trade values, Bobby Miller only carries a $1.1 million value. Screw the talent. Screw the years of control, apparently. We have a small sample size worth of bad starts, and it absolutely tanked Bobby Miller's value. So we can't do this, though it feels like a move. And I kind of think both sides would be on board with this. If you're the Baltimore Orioles, you get Bobby Miller. One time, one of the top Dodger prospects has shown that he can succeed at the major league level. Yes, he's having his struggles now, but he's shown success. Get him right. Isn't that a tremendous return for Cedric Mullins, who's leaving anyway? They're not going to spend the money to re-sign him. It's just not going to happen. And so he's gone in a couple of months anyway. I think this works. But again, baseball trade values does not. So let's try to find another one. Instead of that, we will send, and this is to get closer to that value, LA will send their number 11 prospect, 19-year-old Joendry Vargas, who could be a monster. But he's 19. He still has a lot of developing to do. And Landon Knack, who fits into that Orioles rotation right away. We got to get pitching back for these Orioles position players, or any of the players that are headed out. We have to get pitching back. And we get Landon Knack, who has 5 more years of control after this year and was the Dodgers' number 14th ranked prospect last year. We get an $18.7 million value in Mullins going to LA and $14.1 million in value going to the Baltimore Orioles. Remember I said at the beginning, it feels like that 18.7 for Mullins is maybe a little high. Well, when we plug this into baseball trade values, it gets rejected, which kind of surprised me that 18.7, 14.1, pretty close here on a rental player. Now, as the season goes on, this trade happens in July. Cedric Mullins' value will come down. All of these players for the Orioles, the value will drop to a point where Mullins is maybe closer to that 14.1. And we consider the other trades. Here, we didn't get to the Sagano value, but Sagano's value will come down as we get closer to the deadline. Here, we didn't get to Eflin's value, but Eflin's value will come down as we get close to the trade deadline. Here, we got over the O'Hearn value. O'Hearn value will also come down slightly. So if this trade were to happen in July, it would look like an overpay for Cleveland. But the rest of these trades, the values that we didn't quite get to, they come down over the next couple of months. So regardless of it being rejected, I'm curious, Dodger fans, are you doing Vargas and Knack for Mullins? Is it too much? Feels like it'd be too much. Again, I get back to the Miller trade. That's the trade I would like to see, regardless of Bobby Miller's struggle. Get him to Baltimore, see if the Orioles can fix him. I think that feels like the way to go. So the Orioles